Hi everybody, welcome back to Harmon Speaks. So glad to have you here. Got an announcement I want to make before we move on to the regular program. On October 28th, that's a Saturday, from 9 o'clock until noon, my pals at Spark are going to have a little race. It's a fundraiser. We no longer get state funding, and we need the locals to help pick us up and help us out. Spark, if you don't know, helps provide mobility equipment for people with disabilities, and they also provide certain trainings for people with visibility issues. So we feel like we do a lot of good things in the community. We try to help people have healthy, happy lives. So we need some help with funding. Please come to the race. It's $40 to compete. There are two races. There's a 2-mile race and a 4-mile. I do the 2-mile. And if you want to see me and you want to see my sexy new legs, and I hate to say that in the church library, but dang, do they look good. Come on out. It will probably be my last day of the year I get to wear shorts. And I want you to come on out. You can see my gleaming, whatever they're acrylic legs in the sun. It'll be gorgeous. And we'll be spending money to help with a really good group. So please come out and help us. We'd be glad to see any and all of you there. 9 o'clock till 12. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is at the Cove on North Shore out toward Farragut, right on the Tennessee River. We do actually run right by the river. It's beautiful that time of the morning. So come on over and join me, please. All right. Today, I don't have a guest other than Neil, and we all love Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hi, everyone.
And the reason is I've got some things on my mind that I wanted to share with you. And I would love it if we started some kind of discussion about this. If you want to talk in the comments about reacting to any of this, I would love to hear your thoughts. One of the things I've been thinking about lately is I've been thinking about the word disability. And I was thinking back a few years ago was the first time I ever used the term. I just never used it before. And I wanted to be called a person with a disability because I felt like it had a meaning. If you're a person with a disability, then I thought you were being a part of a larger community of people of various disabilities who come together to support one another and celebrate life together. Well, here's the bad news. I haven't found the community. I just haven't found it. And that's not a criticism to anybody or anything, but I haven't found it. I went to work with Spark with a group of some of the best intentioned people I've ever met who really work hard to help people in the disability community. But we don't get big groups of people with disabilities in the building. Every now and then some come by, but it's not often. And I haven't found that connection that I was looking for. So what I have decided is I don't know that I want to use the term disabled anymore. Now, I do have a physical difference, and I am aware of it. Believe me, I know. And I understand that somehow sets me apart from others. My hands are different. Well, I only have one. The other has no hand at all, just a pencil sharpener cleaner. And I have no feet, as you know. And I only have the capacity of one lung. So I have my differences, but I don't like to call them disabilities. There are only a couple of things I found in life that I absolutely cannot do. I can't really play the piano, and I'd like to. I consider that a bit of a disability. I can't button the top button of a shirt to wear a tie. But I celebrate that every Sunday. I don't wear one. I have no neck, and I don't want one. And the last thing is I'm not much of a runner or a dancer or an athlete. And those things are all true. So does that make me disabled? I say no, because I bet you have a similar list of things you can't do. Oh yeah, there's another one. Math. Can't do math. But I'm married to a math teacher, so hopefully I don't have to do math. But everybody has something that they can't do. And so I don't understand why one group of people carry the label disabled and the rest of us do not. I just don't like the way it feels, and I don't want to do it. I'm going to refer to myself in the future as being a member of a community, whether we have a community or not. I'm not going to identify as disabled. I don't have a good term for it. I don't have a solution for that. I'm working on it, but I haven't come up with one. And I do know that some people want to use the term because it allows certain legal protections. The Americans with Disabilities Act has the word in the middle of it, and that's a wonderful piece of legislation that's helped many, many, many people. So I don't want to disregard that sort of thing, but I just don't want to use the label for myself. Now, after I started going down this road of thinking, I started thinking about what are some of the things that would help identify a group that I could be a part of. And I made a list of 10 of them. You know me by now. Every list I make, they have 10 of them. And that means I could have thought of 15, but I stopped and ate a cookie after I got to 10. And it was an Oreo that was delicious. But anyway, I wanted to share these with you tonight. I would love to get your feedback. If you'd like to write in the comments below what you think of some of them. Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Do they apply to you? Do they not? Whatever you want to say, I'd like to hear from you. And Neil, if you would be so kind as to put these on the screen as we go through it, that would help. He gave me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
He likes to brag because I can only do that a little bit. Anyway, sorry, buddy. Just kidding. I love that guy. I don't know why he puts up with me. All right, here's our first one. Ask about our abilities, not our disabilities. I've never understood why anybody walks up to me and goes, "Hey, buddy, what happened to your hands?" Why do you want to know? I don't understand. Did you think I chewed them off? Did I sell them for, I don't know. I would rather talk about what I can do than what I can't do. So I don't mind answering those kinds of questions. I'm not offended by them. It's hard to offend me. But I'd rather we focus on what I do and instead of not what I don't. I don't play the piano. That's not an interesting story. So anyway, focus on the positive. Here's the second one. If we can open doors, let us. Now, we've talked about that on the show before. Wait until we ask for help before you offer it. I think it's the only way for us to get along with each other. I don't know how many times people have run between me and the door to open the door for me when I didn't ask for the help. I could do it anyway. So it's not that I mind it, it's that it's unnecessary. When you could just be standing by the door. How you doing today, Gary? It's good to see you. What's going on with you? Instead of grabbing doors and worrying about me not making it, because I can make it. Here's the third one, and this one's important to me too. We won't hurt you. You don't have to be afraid of us. If I had $1 for every time I walked into a public area and some child under the age of 5 went screaming to behind Mama's skirt, screaming at the top of his lungs, I'd be a rich man. For all those children who've done it, please go ahead and send me $1. It would help. I need it. I understand a little different. I get it. And maybe even a little creepy. But what I don't understand is if you're parents with kids and you're going out in a public place, Why haven't you had that conversation about, okay, kids, we may run into somebody that's a little different than you. Here are the rules. You can be nice to them, say hi, wish them a good day, but judging the way they look is not appropriate. If they are different hands, have different feet, maybe different race or religion, those are all beautiful things. Just say hi to them. Be friendly. That's all it takes. Kids don't have to understand. They just have to be taught not to be afraid of us. And that's very, very important. Because I got news for you. As medicine improves and as technology improves, more of us will be out in the world. And if we're going to be there, we need to learn to get along with one another. And we can do that, I'm sure. Here's the next one. Talk with us, not just to us or about us. Talk with us. You want to know something about me? Ask me. You don't have to ask the people around me. You don't have to say, well, why does he have this or that or the other? Come talk to me if you've got some questions. We can have a conversation. I don't get offended very easily. Now, does that mean nobody in my position gets offended? Of course not. There's always a risk. But doesn't it make better sense? If I have a question about Neil, why would I go somewhere else? If I want to ask him, why don't I just go ask him? And I found he would be very friendly about that. So
No,
he would backhand me, but that's okay.
so none of your business.
Yeah. And then what?
None of your business.
He's from East Tennessee. He can't help it. All right, next one. This one seems simple, but I think when you think, a lot of people kind of, it blows their mind. We are complete people. I'm going to let that sink in a minute. What does that mean? We are complete people. That means that we run the gambit of the human experience. I love, I don't love. I'm angry, I'm happy, I celebrate, I mourn, just like everybody else. I eat Oreos. I have a day. No, I don't have any days when I don't eat Oreos, but I don't have an opposite for that. But Daddy's got to have his pleasure. But we are fully human. Everything that we experience is part of the human experience. We have families. We have people we love. We have people we don't love. We're complicated, just like everybody else. And when people get surprised by that, it's a little offensive. When people will say, are you married? Yes. Really? Well, that's great. Shut up. I don't know why she married me. You have to ask her. But I'm glad she did, and I'm glad she's still around. So the point is that we're going to have as complex an emotional life as you do. And please understand that. Next one. Invite us to be a part of what you're doing. You say, well, when do we not do that? Well, elementary PE for one. I was always the last one picked, and except in battle ball. And everybody couldn't wait to hit the fat kid with the battle ball. But we want to participate just like everybody else does. Invite us to participate, and you'll find that you might have a friend there. Next thing. We are valuable members of families. That may be the most important thing I write. You have to remember that everybody belongs to a family somewhere. They may not have the family physically with them, but somewhere they have parents. They may have had siblings, grandparents, whatever. They have enemies, they have lovers, they have all that sort of stuff. And we have our roles to play. I'm the father of my children. I'm the husband of my wife. Those are roles that I play. And the fact that I do or don't have hands or feet has nothing to do with that. My wife doesn't excuse me because I don't have body parts. Now, on the second hand, I don't do much. I'm a lazy old man. But I do help take care of my family best I can. Okay. Our beliefs are as important to us as yours are to you. That's another thing I've run into. Some people are surprised that people with disabilities may have political thoughts or religious beliefs, and I have no idea why. If you're going to be in a community, you're going to have some responsibility to know what's going on and to have an opinion. And people with disability has just as many opinions as everybody else. And they're also just as varied. If you fill this room full of people with disabilities, we may all believe something different. And that's valid and important. Two more. And the last one I did not write, but this one I did. We have opinions about how we want our community and world to run, and we should be allowed to express them. I had somebody ask me once if certain people with certain types of disabilities should be disqualified from voting. The answer to that is no. If they want to vote, they're old enough to vote, let them vote. You say, well, they may not make very good decisions. Well, hello, America. I love you, but we don't always make great decisions.
Same can be said for most of us.
Yeah, and that's both parties. It's various times of our history. We've made some bad decisions and some great ones. So I don't think people with disabilities are outside of that norm.
And guess what? Humans are flawed.
That's correct. That's correct.
Every human.
All of them. All of them. And the last one is my only one that I did not write, but I think it was important enough to include it, and that is, we are enough. I don't want anybody with any type of disability to go through life feeling like they just aren't enough for their family or their friends or for their own lives. There may be limitations, that's okay. We'll learn to live with those and overcome them in our best way. But we are enough. If I sat in my chair all day long, I'm enough. Now, I don't do that, and I don't think most of you do either. But just the fact that we can feel, we can love, we can think, we can contribute, we are enough. And I don't want people to be treated as if they're substandard or subhuman. And I hear about things like that way too often. Children in classrooms who can't quite keep up with their peers, who might be put in a corner with a coloring book and nothing else to do. That's not acceptable. This is the 21st century. We need to teach all children. We need to help all children. We need to accept all adults. And we should all be a part of what we are trying to do here. Now, this is going to be our 96th show, and only God knows how many we're going to do. But I'm going to keep going as long as I can sit. We are trying to get to a point in our show where we can talk about some issues, and we want some feedback from you. I want to know how you feel about some of the things I've said today. Please go to the comment section and please let us know. I hope to see you on the 28th at the Cove. We'll go walking and raise a little money for Spark. And please keep watching this show. Please get your friends to watch it as well. And thank you. I appreciate your time and your patience. And God bless. Have a good night.